everybody, this is Ginger and this is Ginger's Chat Show, and hope all is well. It's Wednesday, August 2nd, and we're going to be having another 80-degree day today here. I have both my fans running, and the cats are crashing somewhere. Cyrano's not doing very good, so it makes it kind of tough. Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, what I'm discussing today is regarding what happened yesterday. He who shall not be named, who we all know who he is, was indicted for the third time. This time for the January 6th insurrection that happened 2 years ago. We were just in the process of certifying President Biden's win. Anyway, Trump has been charged with 4 counts, many of them with 6 co-conspirators, and they're targeting those conspirators right now, too. So anyway, he's gonna be arraigned soon. I guess sometime this week. Thank you, Jean. Hi Nancy, hi Dorothy. Hope you guys are not roasting over there. Anyway, they need to stop treating Trump with kid gloves. Take those kid gloves off, slap cuffs on him, and throw him in jail and keep him there until all the trials have been conducted, he's convicted, and then he gets sentenced. Then they can figure out from there which prison they want to stick him in, and whether they want to have him serve his sentences at the same time, or one sentence after another. Okay. Now one judge, or not judge, but one lawyer stated, well, if he doesn't take a plea deal on this, hi Jean, plea deal on this, that he may die in prison. Well, he is probably going to feast in jail and everything else. Yeah, probably will. Okay. And depends on which prison they stick him in. Well, right now he has a lot of federal felonies on his docket right now, and many of them are serious, especially espionage charges. Matter of fact, there's 2 more superseding charges tacked on to the Mar-a-Lago one, too. Because they found another co-conspirator on that one, outside of this Nana guy. So he's supposed to be arraigned, this other person. So, I didn't quite catch the name of that person was. You think after being indicted the 3rd time, you think he who shall not be named, Trump, should be throwing in the towel and said, fine, I give up, I'll turn myself in and stay in jail. You know? But his narcissism won't allow him to do that. And there was the other talk that, well, if he is sentenced, then he'd be under house arrest and everything goes, no, he needs to be in prison. Not house arrest. No luxury trappings for him, okay? He's endangered a lot of people, and including you and me included, okay? How we lived through the 4 years of his so-called presidency is beyond me. I think we governed ourselves is what we did. We did it ourselves. We governed ourselves. We basically ignored him. And there were a lot of strong agencies in place that say, no, you cannot do this. Saying it to Trump, say the word no. And if he didn't like the word no, that's just tough, you know. Um, he's going to find out in prison that he got to follow orders and will be following orders. And I don't know if they're going to put him in the general population or not. I know the espionage people are, or those are convicted of espionage, are put in a supermax prison, and they're put in solitary cells, single cells, and not really much contact with anybody else. Um, Colorado, like Florence, Colorado prison, very, very strict in there. And if they get enough, if they do good behavior and get enough privileges, they could probably work and do small jobs and things like that. But if you have like mass murders or multiple murders, then they're stuck in solitary. They're stuck in a single cell. And they're only let out for 22 hours a day. 1 hour for shower and a meal or exercise, and then back in the cell. So, and whether they're given any educational benefits, I don't know. Okay. Knowing Trump, he's I think he's got a real strong lazy streak in him. And he doesn't read well. He doesn't listen. And I'm sure there will be a thorough assessment on him. Psychological assessment as well. I'm sure that's going to happen. So, well, he may be forced to do manual work. Like I said, it depends on their assessment. What they do is, after the person's been convicted and they're sentenced and remanded back into custody, they do an assessment of which, depending on their sentencing. This is why I learned in criminal justice school. Depends on their sentencing. And they make a determination which prison they are transported to and what opportunities that inmate is allowed. Okay? And so he may be forced to do manual work, and also he'd be forced to be told that he had to keep his cell spotless. Because I know in some prisons they're very strict about that, and they do inspections on those every day. Depends on which prison it is. Okay. Now you got many different levels of prison. Okay, different security levels. You got the low level security, which is like supporting farm prisons. You have some, like, they go on, those depend on their convictions and everything, what their charges were. You know, they get like work release and things like that. He may not be put in general population, Gene. He may be put in a single cell, and because of espionage charges and everything else. So he may not be put in general population. But anyway, on this, and then you have the medium security, which is a little bit more strict. Depends on the setup on each one and where each medium security prison is situated. Then you have the maximum security, okay? That's one step below your supermax. There is a supermax in somewhere in the south. I've forgotten what state has a supermax. I think it's in Georgia. But anyway, you can look it up on the Bureau of Prisons website, okay? Uh, but they have you have the maximum security prison, which, usually is 2 per cell, and they're somewhat in a general population, but they're housed in different uh, wards or different cell blocks, let's put it this way. They're housed in different areas. So it depends on which one they have him go into. Um, yeah, he will be. And then you have the Supermax. Yeah, that's my thought on that too, Gene. He should be in the Florence system. Well, there's another Supermax, I think in the South. I think it's in Georgia. Yeah, it's very secure, and no one has escaped from the Supermax prison. And with Trump in there with, gosh, he has so many counts against him. If he's convicted on all charges in all 4 areas or all 4 states, he's going to be in prison for a very long time, and he's likely he will die in prison. Because they said lately his health has not been good. Well, he hasn't really been taking care of himself either. And yes, he should be in the Florence prison, maybe, and not in the South, one in the South. But that's what I know. But anyway, check it out. Do your research, guys. That's how you learn on this. But this time, I think they need to take the kid gloves off, put cuffs on him, perp walk him to jail. And, that's embarrassing in itself, even though he has no, what you call self-awareness, anything. But he was, when he was at the, yeah, but El Chapo's he's let out maybe 1 hour or 2 hours a day. He may not have any contact with anybody except for the guard, Gene. So, yeah. Another person that should be in a Supermax prison is Putin. Matter of fact, all dictators need to be put in prison, Supermax prison. Un especially, since he's murdered so many of his own people. That's not running a country. My book. Yeah, well, I was writing my production notes for this. I'm sorry. Oh, good, Dorothy. Good. Well, tell him to stay safe. They do a lot more intensive training with the guards now, too. And many of them previously were correction guards in jails, regular jails, police jails and everything, too. So anyway, yeah, they go out to a private yard. They have to exercise and everything, and read a book or whatever outside, 1 hour a day. And then of course all their meals are eaten inside their cell. So meals are brought to them, and they have to eat the meals, and then so. And they have to shower once a day. Anyway, on to other things. Jean just told me that this was in the news. This hasn't popped up yet on the main news. There has been a apparent um, shooter in progress at the Senate building, U.S. Senate building. Well, they just closed. They just reopened that building up now. There was no one there, but they are now trying to find the call and trace the call and where it came from, and then tweet where it came from. They have a way of finding the FBI and everything else have a way of finding out where to find these guys. Okay. Um, so they'll find them. They'll find the group and who's ever doing the death threats and everything against. Well, any kind of death threat call is a bad call. Yeah. Um, so I'm glad there's no injuries. Right now, all the senators and representatives are on their August break until they come back in September. Okay. And because they're back in their own districts and everything. So, because of the primary elections and all the other stuff that's going on. So, really, there's no senators there. The only left is their staff there that report there every day to handle everything. Anyway, I'm glad that they're okay. Everybody's okay there. DC has not had a very good week because they had that big major windstorm went through there last Saturday, and it did quite a bit of damage in the north, especially the northwest neighborhood area near where Vice President Harris is. She lost her fence. They just replaced the fence there. Big red oak came down and just squashed it. Um, and they're doing some, right now they're also doing some driveway work at the White House too. They're doing maintenance and everything on it, which is part of our tax dollars. Because the White House is the people's house. And so since we, meaning you and me, own the house, we have to maintain it. And it needs to be maintained. So, people keep saying the government, they need to remind themselves this. You, meaning you and me, we are the government. Which means we the people. And, yeah, we're the government. And what we say goes, okay? The senators and representatives and the president works for us. They do things on our behalf, and this is what people need to understand. Now, you got some of these Trump cultists that get things so screwed up, I go, no, that's not how it works, guys. You need to go back to civics, and you need to read the facts. And if you don't like the facts, tough. Accept it and move on. I'm really tired of people being either they're being purposely obtuse, which means purposely dumb, or just don't want to study. Okay? Now, I'm still amazed as to people like Boebert and Green. How do they get past high school? How do they get past, any type of college? They're not really qualified for that type of job. It sounds like to me they just jumped right in and not serving in a small local government, like a small town government, city council, that type thing, and then work your way up. Now here we got a new council member, and he's on the council for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then he's now running for state legislative, House of Representatives, state legislative area, in my area. And so he's running for that position. Now there are 2 seats for that, my 18th legislative district here in the state area. So, He's running for that, and then later on, he's contemplating maybe be running for state senate or for federal senate. But many of them decide not to go on that far. Many of them just prefer to stay in the state and serve the state. Do public service that way. Do things here closer to home. Um, so anyway, I'm glad that this the Senate building in D.C. is safe and secure. I really am. Now, the other indictment, the fourth indictment, is coming out later this week, or later next couple weeks here, by Fannie Willis over in Georgia. She said everything's wrapped up, everything's ready to go for indictment on that. And now that's the election interference. Because he did cross-state federal portion of it, okay? Interference in that. And so he's being indicted in Georgia as well. Well, they tried stopping the indictment, and the judge threw it out and said no. Oh, speaking of which, the judge who's going to be... Okay. Okay. Yeah. I had a friend that was a security guard, too. Of course, she's now basically pretty much retired from that. She started developing arthritis in her knees, and she couldn't be walking that far, so she had to basically get out of it and do something else. It's kind of a bummer, you know? Don't you hate it when your own body decides it wants to fall apart? Most inopportune time? Yeah, I thought of becoming a security guard too, but with at that time I was fighting my horse injuries. I had a shoulder issue, and I wouldn't be strong enough to handle somebody. I could probably hog tie them, rope them and tie them up like they do when they rope cows, calf roping. But no, maybe in the next life. I don't mind doing physical stuff, and I don't mind working hard at all. It's just that when you get older, things start going wrong. You're falling apart, and it makes it harder and harder and harder. We all know this, right, guys? So anyway, feel free to share. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back. And also, did you guys vote? Did you guys vote in your primaries? Because ours closed. I mailed mine out Monday night and should have gotten there yesterday. So it's as long as it's postmarked by 8 p.m. yesterday. Used to be you have to have it postmarked midnight before election day, where they changed that to 8 p.m. because some mail systems are picked up later than usual, later, and depends on the area. So, let's see, anything else? Of course, you keep hearing about a lot of these right-wing idiots, news people, saying, keep putting up the misinformation. Yeah, I agree there, Gene. As my dad used to say, getting old the pits. And I went to last night. I don't know if any of you went to your national night out party yesterday. They decided to hold the party about midday because they didn't want to hold it at night, which is a smart move. Um, it was fun. It was a picnic. You know, get food. You have raffles. You know, you get to talk and many of my neighbors don't get out that much because it's difficult for them to. Um, oh yeah, he slapped back at Trump. He really did. Uh, well, you know, he should be because Trump decided to basically sick the January insurrection crowd right on Pence, and that is endangering that's endangering a government official, and also that's attempted murder. So, hey Carol, hi. I don't know if you know this, Carol, but I got a new web camera. Uh, it's much better. I'm very, very happy with it. It sits up higher. It doesn't look like I'm, cut off here. um, so, yeah, I'm very happy with it. So, it's going to go far. Now, on my YouTube channel, I got 41 subscribers. I need more. I need more subscribers. So, I need people to subscribe and share. And I'm going to do some more research on how to really enhance it and catch more people's eye. So, also there's a few more new videos that come out on Midas Touch too, as well. And so, hope you guys have a good day. I will see you. Let me check my calendar. 1 minute. Okay. I'll see you on Friday. Turn up the volume more. That's the highest I could go. You sure it's not your end, Gene? Or Gene, you sure it's not your end? Hey, yay! Where do you live, Carol? Carol, where do you live? We need rain here too. We haven't had any since March. So anyway, I need more subscribers on my YouTube channel. Okay. I will post this on my YouTube channel. And I will, okay. Okay, great. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm fighting allergies. Cottonwoods are blooming. So anyway, I love you guys. I will see you on Friday at 1 o'clock, same time, same station. Okay? Love you all. Bye-bye.